Hello my dear friendsitas, how is your life? Today we're going to create this stunning artwork. Just look at that. This artwork is actually not as easy as it looks like. Let me just show you. This is the original image, and as you can see it's black and white, so we'll have to go through many steps. We'll have to convert this into colors, we have to add many effects and so on. So in order to follow this tutorial you need to have at least some solid basic knowledge of Photoshop. And before we get into the tutorial, I just want to tell you that if you want to improve your Photoshop skills, then I can really help you. In order to see how I can help you, just go to learnfromfred.com. Here you will see a video which will explain you what I teach, how I teach, and what you will get once you register on my website and which classes you will access. With that said, let's get into the tutorial. So the link is in the description. So I'll just go and click create new, create, and let's go with width 1000. Make sure you have here pixels selected, make sure height is 1 to 50, resolution 300, color mode RGB colors, artboard is not selected, and let's just click create. Boom. And I'm going to be very quick in this tutorial because I don't want to make it 30 minutes long. And let's start by importing this image here. Let's just make it bigger. I'm gonna put it here in the middle somewhere. Boom. So just to see clearly her face, and I would say even bigger. So even bigger. Boom. This is good. This looks good. Let's click OK. So the first thing we need to do, we need to colorize this image. And in my original project, I actually used the latest Photoshop effect, which is neural filters, which allows you to just colorize it with one click. If you want to see how it's done, just go and check out my previous videos. But I'm not gonna do it here because most of you don't have the latest version of Photoshop, and even if you do, most likely you have the pirate version, so not the original version. And for this reason, you won't be able to access this filter. So I will show it to you using some other options, okay? In order to make this colorful, let's go here and open color balance. I'm just gonna try to add some yellow, redness, so basically some color of the skin to her face. I would say some pinky color, like that. Let's go to shadows. Let's see what we can do here. This is nice. Let's go to highlights. Okay, this looks fine. Good, so we got the color of the skin. Now let's continue with some other parts. So now again I want to go and create another color balance, and this time I want to change the colors again. So for example, now if I turn this off and on, we see it's different colors. And what I'm gonna do is actually a very simple and quick thing. I'm gonna go to gradient tool, and I'm gonna have here black to white gradient, which is the standard gradient in Photoshop. If you just go to basics, you will see it here. Make sure you have linear gradient. All of the settings are exactly like mine. And if we click on the mask and I create a gradient here, basically what I will do is I will tell Photoshop, okay, show this effect only on the left side, as you can see with this mask. So if I turn this off and on, we see it only on the left side, but I actually want it to be differently. Let's try it from top to the bottom. No, from bottom to the top, or like that. Yeah, I think this is the best way. And if I turn this off and on, we see here some different colors, we see here some different colors. That's really good for the face because you never have the whole face only in one color. You know, it's always some shadows, highlights, and stuff like that. So now let's continue to the eyes, and again I'm gonna create color balance, and this time I'm gonna make it blue because I want the eyes to be blue, of course. I'm gonna go to highlights, make it bluish, boom, and now I need to reverse this mask, invert it, and I'm gonna use hotkey, which is Ctrl or Command plus I, boom, and as you can see mask is inverted, and now I can go select my brush tool with white color, and okay, my brush is too big, I'm gonna make my brush smaller. You can just do it here as well, and make sure everything is 100%. And now I'm just gonna draw here in order to give the eyes some different color, and by doing that I can actually make it already look like a colorful image and not just black and white image. So like that. Okay, now let's go and add some color to the lips. Of course I want to make them red, so that's why I'm gonna go to shadows, make it red as well, and this should be fine. Let's again invert this mask. Let's now go here with our brush tool. Let's start drawing on the lips to make them red, like that. It doesn't need to be perfect, you know. This is too much. I'm gonna make opacity a little bit down. Let's say 50% should be fine. Boom. Now I want to go and make the color of the inside of the eyes a little bit different, you know, I wanna probably make it even brighter, maybe even a little bit greenish, like that. Again, invert, and let's start coloring on the eyes, like that, and this looks nice. Boom. What I wanna do is I wanna add another color balance effect, and this one I wanna change the tone of her skin a little bit, and let's see what we can do here. Maybe a little bit of this. Let's go to shadows. Okay, and I think this kind of looks nice. So I will actually decrease opacity a little bit, like that. Boom. And voila, we have a nice colorful image here. And if we just see before and after, for example, I'm just gonna put all of this into a group, select all of them, group, and if I turn off and on this group, as you can see with all the effects, so before, after. Giant work, right? So now what I want to do is I want to convert all of this into a one smart object, and I'm just gonna select all of these effects. So basically they're all in the group. So, and then I'm also gonna select this image here, and I'm just gonna click right button and choose convert to smart object here. Most likely my camera will be over this menu, but you will just have to choose convert to smart object and it's fine. Boom. And when I do that, as you can see, now it's one object. So now let's continue. Now I need to cut her eyes. I know this sounds horrible, but don't worry, she's not going to feel it because it's an image, obviously. Come on, guys. So, and I'm gonna use just quick selection tool, actually, and I will just select her eyes like that. Actually, deselect. So now I need to create a copy of this image. I'm just gonna go to image and layer and duplicate layer, okay? Or you can use a hotkey. And now here, just double click, I'm gonna call this eyes, and I'm gonna create a mask. So now I want to turn off this image, and what I'm gonna do here is I will try to delete everything except the eyes with a black brush. And voila, as you can see, I'm deleting it. Also, let's delete this background. It's useless. Let's go to the mask, and I will try to delete everything except the eyes. Just gonna do like that. Boom, 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 boom. And here we need to go a little bit more precise. Of course, there are many different ways. You could also just select the eyes, but I decided to do it manually because I feel like it's gonna be much more precise if I do it manually. So now what I want to do is I want my brush hardness a little bit down, let's say 80%. And I'm just gonna go even maybe lower, 70. I'm just gonna and slowly delete the eyes. And before I finish deleting the eyes, let me just explain you a little bit better what exactly are my classes. So for example, when you go to my website and you go to all classes, you can see here tons of cool artworks that you can create. So just like I'm explaining to you right now this tutorial and how to create, this artwork, on my website I actually have full classes with many detailed lessons, not quick as this one, but actually detailed, where I explain every step that I do. And for this artwork, for this artwork, for this artwork, for this and many other artworks, and you can just go and check out other pages as well with all the classes that I have. And I know you may look at this and be like, oh, this is price for one class. Yeah, but you can also access all of the classes with membership, which is $5 for your first month, or you can buy the classes separately. So as you wish, my dear friendsitas. And once you understand that, let's go back to the tutorial. So, and now I'm just going to finish deleting this part. Boom, this is nice, kinda, yep. The same goes here. Let's just delete everything that we don't need. So now let's turn on this image, okay? And now what I will do is I will copy this mask here and then invert it. So basically I'm just gonna hold Alt or Option, click on the mask and drag it here. Boom, as you can see I copied it here, and I'm just gonna invert it again, Ctrl Command plus I, voila. And now for example, if I turn this off, as you can see I have one image where I don't have the eyes, and I have another image where I have only the eyes. And what I will do, I will go to the eyes, click right button and convert this into a smart object as well. Boom, pretty cool, huh? So, and now when we did that, it's time to make the eyes melt. And the way we're gonna do that, I'm gonna select the eyes, I will go to filter and Liquify. Okay, so your Liquify tool is going to look a little bit different. I mean your preview window, that's because you don't have here this show backdrop enabled. Yours is going to look like that most likely. What I will do is I will enable here show backdrop, okay, and you should do it too. And if you don't see it, then most likely you have this opened. Make sure to close everything to see the show backdrop here. and make sure to have exactly the same parameters like I do here. And I'm also just gonna make this 100%. And now let me just go a little bit closer. I'm gonna select here this finger tool. This tool helps us to liquify stuff. So when I select it, make sure you have the brush settings exactly like mine, and just see what it does. If I click and drag, oh, sorry, wait, I did something wrong. Show backdrop behind, I guess. Yeah, so this should be behind. And now when I click and drag, look what's happening. I can actually make the eyes melt, and that's exactly what I want to do here. I want to make them melt and go kind of down like that. Voila, creepy, creepy, creepy. Boom. And go even lower, 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 lower. Let's see, like, I don't remember exactly how I did it in this artwork, how much. Okay, it's low, but it's not too low. So it's not too low. Boom, this is nice. Let's go and do the same to this eye here. Like that. Wow. You're gonna see nightmares today, my dear friend. So anyway, it's up to you how you wanna do it. It doesn't matter that much. I mean, you can do it many different ways. I'm just gonna click OK now. And once you do it, voila, we have here this melting creepy eyes, which is pretty cool. So now when I did that, what I wanna do is actually, the background, yeah. So I'm just gonna go and click create solid color, make it black, and I'm just gonna place it in the background, and boom, this looks pretty cool. So as you can see, we're still not done with this liquefied eyes, because if you look here, we have here some thickness to it, but in this artworks they just look very slim, so they don't have any thickness to them. What I will do is I will click right button here and choose convert to smart object, and I'm gonna create a copy of this, voila. And now I have here two layers of the same. What I will do is I will go to image, adjustments, brightness, and I will make the second layer darker. I don't see it right now because it's located behind this layer. And when I did that, I'm just gonna start moving it. So again, you can just use your arrow buttons on your keyboard to move the layer. And when I move it, as you can see, I'm bringing it down, and we can already see here this layer. And by using this layer, we can give some thickness to our liquify tool, basically to these liquefied things. And if I turn this off and on, as you can see, it makes it look much thicker. So now when we did that, I want to go to brightness, so just double click here, and I want to make the brightness lower, contrast higher, maybe brightness a little bit higher, is too low, but contrast, yeah, a lot. This looks good. Let's click OK. And let's now go create new empty layer. Now I need to connect this and this. As you can see, we have here some places where they're not connecting, and it looks kind of bad. So what I will do, I will turn off my image and also this, so everything except the eyes. I'm gonna go here, click right button and choose smudge tool. And when I have smudge tool basically helps us to connect different things. So before I show you how it works, as you can see, I have here some weird brush. So if I make it size bigger, you see it's not like a normal brush. And in order to find this brush, you just have to go to brush settings. Come on, brush settings, and you can just go to window and find your brush settings here, and then you will see this brush. It's a default brush that every Photoshop has, and if you don't have it, then there's something wrong with your Photoshop, okay? The reason I'm using this brush and not circle is because this is like a very chaotic brush and gives you some nice effects, basically. You will see what I mean. And now make sure this is normal, strength is around 52, sample layers is selected. I'm gonna make my brush a little bit smaller, and now if I start dragging them, look what's happening. I can actually connect them by doing this. And I will click right button and change the angle of my brush. Voila. Let's go again to this empty layer with my brush tool. And I just want to connect, you know, the front layer with the back layer to make the thickness look much better and more real. This is good. Let's go here and do the same. Boom! Now if I turn the image on and also the background, as you can see now, it's much thicker, but it's not connected enough, I would say, so I will just continue doing this here. And I don't want to see the line where they connect, you know, it needs to blend really, really well. And if I turn it on now, Okay, much better. Now let's go to the one below, so basically the second layer, and I'm just gonna double click here on empty place somewhere, boom boom, just double click, and once you do that you will have this layer styles open here, and I'm gonna choose drop shadow to have some shadow here, and let's make the angle like that so it's looking to the right, and distance a little bit, also opacity a little bit low, it shouldn't be that strong I would say, and let's. Okay, it looks nice, let's click OK now. Wow, this is pretty long, right? Yeah, well, it's worth it. So now when I did that, I'm gonna go here, create a new empty layer, and I'm gonna choose here spot healing brush tool, voila. And with this spot healing brush tool, I'm gonna delete the eyebrows. Don't forget to save this, okay? Now with spot healing brush tool, make sure you have here content aware selected, sample layer selected, new empty layer, and I will just go and try to delete these eyebrows for now. Boom, and let's make it better. Again, you can just go over it a few times. Voila, this is fine. Let's go and do the same to the other eyebrow. The reason why I'm deleting them is because I actually need to write a text here, and if you remember, we had the text here saying, oops, saying game over. You could write anything you want, but I'm just gonna go with game over. And once we have them deleted, wow, this looks really creepy. What I will do is very simply, my dear friend Titus, I'm gonna go create a mask, okay? Once I have the mask here, I will go and invert it. So now when I have inverted, I can select my brush tool with white color, and now I can actually draw here with white color, and when I draw that, it will reveal this skin that we had replacing the eyebrows. So now, for example, if I do that, wait, oh, here, sorry. Oh, let's go back, yeah. Go to the mask and now do that. As you can see, it works like a razor almost, so that's why I can write anything I want to write. What I will do is I will select again this brush tool, and I'm just gonna write whatever I want. Oops, I'm gonna write, game over here. So like it could be any way you want, game. So the creepier the better, I would say. Game. Okay, this is this is really bad. Let's just go back and try again. Maybe I made them too big, probably. So now what you can do in order to make them look more interesting, you can go here, make it small, and you can just, change the brush direction. I can just go here and click to give some chaotic look. Boom! This is done. Let's go to file and save this. So now, before we go to the colors, last step would be to add here this pattern. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. The way we're gonna do that is very simply, my dear friend Sita. What we will do is I will go to this image, I will create its copy, okay, and I will put this to the very top. I'm gonna go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I'm gonna make it a little bit blurry, maybe even 4. Yeah, this is fine. Let's click OK. Next step, I'm gonna go to image adjustments, and I will go to black and white. Where is black and white? Black and white. Boom. Then I will go to image adjustments, and I will go to posterize and increase the levels. And when I increase the levels, we can see here this type of map. Looks pretty nice. Let's click OK. And now we'll go to filter, stylize, and find edges. And voila, this is what we need. And now when I have it, I can just go in here and start blending with the image. And let's see, I need a brighter option. I don't remember which. Okay, it was divide. I will put this behind the eyes so that it's only on the skin, and voila, looks pretty good to me. So now when we did that, we need to convert all of this into a big smart object, and I will just select this, and I will go and hold shift and select this, click right button and convert this into a smart object, everything together. Let's wait. Now when I did that, I will select this, go to filter and the camera raw filter, and with camera raw filter we can actually make it look like really colorful and pop. I would say. So let's wait. Boom. Okay, yeah, don't worry about this, it's going to be fine. Our image is fine. Okay, so let's go to basic, and I will start by lowering contrast and going to the haze and bringing this to the max. Voila. I'm also gonna go and bring vibrance higher to make everything more colorful. I will add a little bit of bluish, maybe violet, or maybe yellow. Yeah, yellow is much better. And now we can also play with the highlights a little bit, make them brighter, shadows darker, like this. Yeah, this is darker. Let's add some texture to this, or maybe clarify. Let's see. Yeah, clarity looks better. Good. Now let's go to color mixer. Let's go to colors red, and we can play with redness a bit here. We can add a little bit of. No, this is fine. I'm going to change it. This is also fine. This is fine. Let's just see what we want to change. Yeah, greens. I want the greens to be like that. If you look at her eyes, as you can see, it's changing very much. Aquas are fine. Blues, purples, magentas. Let's click OK. And voila! Now it looks much more colorful. And of course, you can go on and continue playing with the colors, you know, changing them and so on, depending on how you want it. For example, I could add another color balance effect here. I could add a little bit of bluish colors, I would say, and go to shadows, make them also really blue. What I could do then is I could invert this, and I could just go to this corner. Oops, I want to have normal brush, not the chaotic one. I could go to this corner here and try to change its color to like from red to something else, and voila. Now as you can see, it's different. Then I could add some more other colors, again color balance. I'm gonna go to highlights and try to make them a little bit bluish, maybe a little bit greenish, a little bit scarier. Again, invert this. And once I did this, I can, for example, add them here a bit to give here some more lighting and shining effect. But that's it in general. We finished our artwork. I mean, it looks really nice, you have to admit this. That's it guys for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to check out my other videos. I have tons of tutorials like that. And also make sure to go to my learnfromfred.com website and access my premium classes. Love you.